Hi. Uh, there we go. I was waiting for that. Okay. I'm back, and I have a few update things. I will be recording. Oh, I have something very special for you. Hopefully on Monday, if everything works out. I have something very special for you on Monday. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. But it's pending. It's pending. But other than that, on the 26th, I will be streaming with um Organized Chaos. I can't remember that name. I do like the name though. But let's go.
God of War Ragnarok just released on the competitor, and that reminded me, I had this text document that I wrote
God, he's fast.
in an angry, rage-fueled nerd stupor after finishing it 2 years ago. Ragnarok is a good game, calm down, but its story is what disappointed me the most.
I mean, I disagree, but I'm willing to hear you out. Maybe Eva can.
I can see that now. This seems to be a more common point of critique, but you know the saying?
I mean, I wouldn't. I disagree with a lot of the people I reacted to under the mayor's video. Go check that out. I I found the story very compelling, very. I thought the story was good.
If you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. This seems to be a more common point of critique, but you know the saying? If you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's my second favorite expression, right after of critique. But you know the saying? If you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
I disagree with this. You may not like what I have to say, but it's maybe not nice to you, but I like critiquing videos, and if I find your ideas for this video inadequate, I would like to say them. Now, if you say them as mean or something, that's for you to decide. But I do this because I value the story, and I like critiquing videos. So, and I have the right to my own opinions. May not be nice, but may be true. Sorry.
It's my second favorite expression, right after Ming Dynasty Pussy got me.
My favorite expression is falsehood flies and the truth comes limping after it. Jonathan Swift said that. Okay, sorry, I gotta take this phone call. Sorry about that. Let's continue. Continue.
I took the first one to heart and came up with my own ranton fan fiction version that actually keeps most of the new story and gameplay elements, but expands on them, playing as a tree.
Okay.
Yes, Freya being a companion, the spear as a new weapon, Odin, Thor, Kratos' wife makes them so much better, bro. Trust me. And especially,
Okay. Let's hear it.
This is the most important part. I want to conclude this story and make it more distinct from its prequel. This isn't your usual. This is the most important part. I want to conclude this story and make it more distinct from its prequel. This isn't
more distinct. It's literally a sequel to the next one. Why would you make it more distinct? It's just following on from the last one. It's a continuation. Why would you want to distinguish it more? I mean, in the gameplay, you could make the gameplay more compelling or stuff like that, but
isn't your usual ranton video. I'm going to spend a lot of time on the beginning, a little bit on the middle, but I will make it all worth it in the end. I wrote
and the game, he just blasted over it, but the game ends. The game has an ending. Game has an ending, you know? I'll be right back. Okay, let's continue.
How to film scenes. I poured my heart into this. Ever watch Seven? That's me. So open your heart, open your mind, and let's have some fun together exploring God of War Ragnarok. Here we go.
Which is a bit fast. But we didn't talk this fast for an entire video.
We begin the game with Kratos and Atreus having a heart-to-heart, father to son. I want to show that Kratos is now deeply involved in his son's life and
having a heart-to-heart. I don't think Kratos would. I think Kratos is capable of a heart-to-heart, but he's very stern. He's very withdrawn with his feelings. I don't know if we should have him being really emotional.
And development, similar to the actual game. Many years passed and we shouldn't undo the hard-earned growth that Kratos went through in the first game.
Do not be sorry. Be better.
A good story.
That wasn't a heart-to-heart. That was more... That wasn't the best example of what he meant. The part he showed with the Greek wine, that was better. He should have shown that as an example.
Story needs growth and should commit to the changes it makes to the...
It has growth. God of War Ragnarok had plenty of growth.
The characters and the world. With the player barely settled in, they get attacked by Thor. But unlike the dream at the end of the first game, he doesn't just wait in front of the house, but immediately strikes out of nowhere, interrupting the real moment Kratos is having with his son. Destroys the house completely, wipes it away with a single strike. He's powerful.
I don't know about that. I think we should get to know each other, get to know these characters first. I think the idea of Odin wanting to talk to Kratos, wanting to talk to Kratos about, what happened in the previous game and him taking a step back, all that stuff. But I don't know. This could work. You just do it after, I guess. I'd like to get to know these characters first before they fight. Why are they fighting?
And not holding back.
I mean, you can probably guess because Maggie and Modi were Thor's sons and Balder was Thor's brother.
Atreus is knocked out,
Chicken jaw.
and Kratos and Thor fight.
I mean,
This subverts player expectations. You're expecting him to show up and get that post-credit angle, right? But not quite this soon and not what's about to happen. Subverting expectations is good, but obviously not an end in itself.
no, subverting expectation is neutral. It depends how you do it. It's not an objective good. Look at The Last Jedi if you want an example of bad subverting expectations.
Rest assured, this is much more.
If Kratos took a shit on the ground, he was about to fight, a group of enemies, but instead he squat down and took a shit and started playing with it. That's subverting expectations. Expect them to do one thing, but squat down and take a shit and play with it,
More than that. This isn't some test fight though, like in the game. No trash talking. Thor has come to kill him, full force.
I am not my son.
He's got plenty of reasons to do this, as Kratos killed his.
I might have to do this video tomorrow. Depends on
Sons.
This
fight, bro, is epic. Goes to the sky, to the center of the planet. That's all of it. Thor ends up defeating Kratos because he's
Let's see if we can do something. I need to. No, my computer doesn't need an update. Let's try this. Quality 3.
He's of course the god of thunder. Sons. This fight, bro, is epic. Goes to the sky, to the center of the planet, all of it. Thor ends up defeating Kratos because he's, of course, the god of thunder, fueled by revenge. And also, Kratos has gotten maybe a bit out of shape over the past year. Fueled by revenge. And also, Kratos has gotten maybe a bit...
I don't know why he would get out of shape. It's clear... In the last game, Kratos clearly understands that there's going to be repercussions for what happened in that game. So I don't know why he would, especially when Freya said she wanted to kill him. They're going to be training all the time. They're going to be preparing for a fight. As he said, they're not ready for it. Kratos knows there's a fight coming. So I don't know why he wouldn't be training. I don't know why they would get weaker. Why would they stop training?
Bit out of shape over the past years?
This has cost you strength. Victory has defeated you.
Type beat, or at least enough so to not be able to defeat a god of Thor's.
I think that's out of character.
Stature, seizing the element of surprise.
You know my past. The ghost of Sparta thing. Yeah.
And I want Kratos to get thoroughly messed up here, more than he's ever been. I want him basically dead. And as he's lying in a pool of his own blood, Thor walks up to him. We think, come on, Kratos, bro, get up. But Thor impales his head. And you as the player will think, what the flip? Kratos lost. No two ways about it. In fact, Thor thinks Kratos is dead.
Why?
Too, and reluctantly takes a knocked out Atreus with him to Asgard. This sets up...
What's wrong with the original idea? That I had to hear the rest of the story, but in the original story, Odin wanted to convince Well, at first you want to convince Kratos to not get involved in Ragnarok. When he sees that's not going to happen, he wants to convince Atreus that to find this mask and to help him. So just attacking them randomly, it's not a good thing and not going to help them.
Up two very
And Thor is very much a attack dog for Odin. He doesn't do anything Odin doesn't basically tell him to do.
important things that Ragnarok wasn't able to. An early what the fuck moment like Baldur's fight, but much more importantly, a reason for an adventure, a catalyst.
There is a reason for an adventure in the original one. No. They are gonna try and find Tyr.
And a strong one at that. One that's
That is a strong one. They want to find the former god of war. Well, Atreus does.
and doesn't require further investigation. His son is gone. Obviously, Kratos needs to get him back.
What's wrong with further investigation? I mean, is that a bad thing, further investigation?
No question about it.
Because all that matters is that you are safe.
And it's Kratos dead? What now? The actual story of Ragnarok always made me wonder, why is any of this happening? Who cares? Why not just stop? We came here looking. Ragnarok always made me wonder, why is any of this happening? Who cares? Why not just stop?
Well, it's happening because, for one, Atreus wants to avoid Ragnarok because he thinks Kratos is gonna die, right? And he doesn't, and he wants to fight the gods. He wants to figure out who he is, right? And Kratos wants to almost hide. He doesn't want to die himself, obviously. He wants to protect Atreus, right? But he will do what he must.
We came here looking for Tyr because
Matters is that you are safe.
And is Kratos dead? What now? The actual story of Ragnarok always made me wonder, why is any of this happening?
I mean, it's happening because the characters all have motivations. Like, Odin wants to find this mask, right? And Kratos and Odin want to have Atreus help him, right? You know, and Kratos eventually, want to protect, Atreus, all this stuff. And then, they both clash, and there's a story there.
Who cares? Why not just stop?
we came here looking for Tyr because we don't trust Odin, right?
But now we already know. Why stop?
Isn't
We
that
came here
reason
looking
to?
for Tyr because we don't trust Odin, right?
Yeah, they don't trust him, so they trying to go look for someone for advice. Atreus wanted to go look for an ally for war.
But now we already know why Kratos would have to seek out a fight or a war with the gods. They took Atreus. It's a no-brainer.
I care only for his safety.
I mean, there's a reason in the game to fight Odin. Because he oppressed all the other races, and he wants to get this mask. He is unyielding in his convictions, and he's not going to stop hurting people.
Look how masterfully this was done in the first game. You had Kratos' late wife's last wish of spreading her ashes over a mountain. Plus, this Baldur guy showed up and almost ended him. This isn't a safe place anymore. Boom! Done! Adventure time! Any questions?
I mean, there were no questions. There were questions on if Tyr was going to be there, but that's what the goal was. What's wrong with that goal? And what's wrong with there being questions? Why? Some amount of question can be good. Questions are neutral. It depends how they're answered.
Gather your things. We are leaving.
During this fight, Thor kills Mimir as well. Stomp on his head as he's unconscious. The gods didn't like him, so they see that as a deserved punishment after he escaped the last one. And also, I think he was a fun dude in the first game, but super annoying in Ragnarok.
I disagree. I suppose I disagree, but I suppose you can have that opinion.
He never shuts the hell up. Brother, get up, brother, over there.
That doesn't make him a bad character, though. And everything he says, he doesn't say like stupid shit. He said funny shit, or he says important stuff. Like in this conversation, he is incredibly angry because Atreus wants to go back to Odin, and he's saying, "Look what Odin did to me, Freya. You know, Kratos, all of these people. You know, Tyr." Before you know what I mean.
Yeah, brother, wasn't that a bit too much, brother? And I don't want this game to rely on the same comic relief as the first one.
Wait!
But what's wrong with a bit of levity? I mean, he's not just there for funny bits. He had thoughts of his own, and he has insights of his own. He's a bro to Kratos. He helps Kratos.
Wait!
Yeah, I don't think he's waiting.
He played his part. Also, if players really care about him, it'll make their urge for getting back at Thor and saving Atreus even stronger. Additionally, it sets up a shift in tone for this installment. This game will be about loss and letting go. Much darker.
It kind of already is. Well, the end is definitely because Brock dies, but it's about a vengeance and about all that stuff. But it definitely is about the fear of loss in the beginning, the fear of losing your loved ones. That is a theme.
Darker, much more serious. The player will be confronted with that reality very early on and is primed in the right direction. We now have
I don't know how this makes it better.
Strong setup for a story. Let's talk about gameplay. One of Ragnarok's biggest weaknesses was that the novelty factor of the weapons was gone. I was bored with the combat. Not because it's bad.
That doesn't make it bad. You're just bored. I don't know I don't know about the weapon being a novelty have to do with anything about the mechanics being good.
On its own, it's awesome, but unlearning all the cool skills just to relearn them after I've played through the last God of War was disappointing and awesome, but unlearning all the cool skills just to relearn them after
not relearning all of them. Some of them you come in the game with, and there are new skills on top of it. There's new runic attacks, and you get a new weapon.
Played through the last God of War was disappointing and whack. In this early fight with Thor, you get to use them after I've played through the last God of War was disappointing and whack. In this early fight with
and that's all subjective. I would like something objective.
Thor, you get to use your axe and the Blades of Chaos with all the skills on.
Okay.
Forget everything you knew about war games. The large-scale action game War Thunder will bring you a storm of unforgettable
Unlocked from the first game. Copy paste. This would be cool for pro players because they can use everything they remember and feel
I may have to cut this off
instantly at home. And for new players, it's irrelevant because the on-screen tutorial will just show some basic.
There's always going to be.
They won't be overwhelmed by a crazy amount of combos. Win, but it doesn't matter because this will be the last time you use these weapons. More on that later. Kratos' lifeless body is then found by Freya, who has also come to seek revenge, similar to the way the actual game begins, but finds Kratos essentially dead. There's nobody to fight anymore, nobody to take revenge on. She's confused, sees that the house is a crater, sees that Atreus is gone, someone she has no hate for. She can put two and two together.
She clearly blamed Atreus for some stuff because she threatened to kill him. She tried to kill him.
Together. She's able to relate with Kratos a tiny little bit, enough so to not stab his corpse on the spot, because she realizes that he's just gone through a very similar thing that she has, losing a son.
That doesn't. I don't get the sense that even it takes a lot for Freya to basically accept uh Kratos' help. Even when she does, um even when she does, she still wants to kill him. And then even after she doesn't try, even after getting her powers back and getting basically everything she wanted, she is barely able to hold back that urge to just attack him. So I don't believe she would have any sympathy. I believe she would think, "Oh, you got what you deserved."
Except he actually died in the process of defending him. She leans over his dead body, but as she turns her back, about to leave, she can hear Kratos make a sound. She turns around, but nothing. She looks angry, clenches her teeth, but then takes a deep breath, looks down for a moment, walks back up to him, and takes him to an unknown place. Kratos is now dreaming, and we play that dream. He reunites with his wife, and we think it's a happy moment. Wow, we get to see his wife. Kratos is in heaven. But she slaps him, attacks him, curses him out that he abandoned Atreus, that he failed as a father, that he wasn't able to protect him, and that he's just like...
That doesn't seem like the Faye we see. For one, this doesn't seem like the Kratos we know. This seems like a very different Kratos. I don't... What?
Like totally like the worst. The addition of Kratos' wife in the actual game was unnecessary and a huge missed opportunity. I don't think her scene...
Unnecessary?
That he failed as a father, that he wasn't able to protect him, and that he's just like totally like the worst. The addition of Kratos' wife in the actual game was unnecessary. And
no, it wasn't unnecessary. We learned what Faye tried to teach Kratos, and we learned why he think the way he does now, and we learned how this is his brain working out things. This is very important to Kratos' character and to what he thinks and feels. And it's very important.
And a huge missed opportunity. I don't think her scenes were very emotional or particularly
I mean, you're allowed to think that, but
relevant at all. And she's on paper a super
relevant. This scene is about how Faye talking about how you need to protect your Kratos. No, I mean Atreus. Kratos needs to protect Atreus, and how you need to look after them. And at the end, they both disappear, signifying that Kratos is worried about them both disappearing. Obviously Faye is gone, but Atreus is in Asgard at that point, and Kratos feared that he will be lost forever.
Character. I mean, it's his wife. My wife, very important. And I want her to be absolutely core to the journey that Kratos...
This is a very important, very emotional scene. Kratos is like, I don't want you to leave. It's like, and Faye talking about how we mortals, Kratos is not mortal, but Faye is, apparently, even though she is giant, whatever. But Faye talked about how, she worried about dying, and that no, she's not worried. She's preparing for her death, and Kratos doesn't want her to go. And Faye trying to let him know it's okay. It's to grieve deeply, it to love deeply. To grieve it, to love deeply, All that stuff. I believe that's the line that she says.
Kratos is about to go on. This vision wakes Kratos up. He finds himself in a prison cell, but he's not in great shape. In fact, I want him to look significantly different. The fight with Thor left him with severe and lasting injuries. Imagine this new Kratos, yeah? His body covered in scars from lightning attacks. His body thinner, leaner, his beard longer
Why would it be thinner?
and grayer, and the
How long? Why would it be grayer? How long has he been here?
eye that is covered by his red tattoo is gone. I love the idea of making characters actually look different in a sequel. Make them carry their stories on their body. Show the player that things are...
It's only... I mean, that's not a good reason, though. Why? How long has he been in this cell? It's only been 2 years.
changing. There's no going back. Like the creators of the old game, play the old games. This is God of War Ragnarok.
I mean, there's not really a compelling reason to do that.
Here I will introduce to you a very important element, and that's the question of how much time has passed since his fight with Thor. You can tell some time has passed, but you don't know how much. It couldn't have been that long. I'm not making him look like the guru in Avatar. The changes are significant, but could be...
If he's bearded longer and he's thinner, if it's been enough time for him basically to lose muscle mass, then wouldn't Atreus and Odin already found the mask? At least made him found the mask already when he succeeded already. It didn't take very long. The story doesn't go over that long of a time span.
Be contributed to his...
This video is sponsored by Porofester, which is an app and overlay that gives you a huge advantage when you play League. So you can use it
his epic battle with Thor and spending some weeks or months in this rundown cell. So you don't give it much more.
Okay, what is Atreus doing in Asgard then?
Freya is not around, and he has no idea that she's the one that put him here. He just knows that he's somewhat okay again. He remembers his fight with Thor, and of course, is instantly driven to get Atreus back. The journey makes sense and is urgent. So this is a big...
The previous journey makes sense.
Plus, compared to the pointless meandering we actually got. Tier this, tier that, don't look for tier...
It's not pointless. Tyr was a very important figure in this history, in this God of War history, in this Norse history. He has a lot of potential knowledge, you know, and it's not good to keep someone locked up like that.
Tyr, look for Tyr. Who gives a shit about Tyr?
I don't know how to help you.
As previously mentioned,
for one, that's not even fair. This isn't Tyr, this is actually Odin. So he's not looking to help anyone. But the actual Tyr would want to help you.
One of the problems with Ragnarok is that the novelty factor for the weapons is gone. That you have to relearn most of the same moves. And
why is that a problem? That's not a problem necessarily. I mean, you're allowed to be bored with them, I guess, but why you don't do you hold this standard with the previous games? Do you not like the Blades of Chaos in the previous games?
And even once you've done all that, it's still almost the same old stuff. They're not interesting anymore. At least not for me.
I mean, okay.
The developers couldn't even come up with a reason why Kratos would forget all his skills. They just expect players to accept it. I think we can solve it.
I mean, he doesn't forget his skills. He has new ones. He had some of the same skills in the in this game, but Intuit base attack, you know?
All this. Listen, the player fights his way,
and that's a lie. He does. There is a reason why. He doesn't have all his skills and armor. For one, his armor wore down, and Fimbulwinter wears down magic and everything else. I mean, it's thin, but there.
Out of the prison. You could say this is the real start of the game. Barehanded combat at first, but then an enemy drops a spear. A very basic spear. A weapon that is familiar to Kratos since he's a Spartan. That's cool. Even in Ragnarok, the idea of the spear is fantastic. It's a weak little shitty spear in a random rundown prison, so it doesn't have the strongest damage values. Sets up the possibility to upgrade it later on, yeah? Now, of course, Kratos knows how to use a spear, but he's still not back 100%. Not even close. He almost died. He was not at his strongest when Thor attacked anyways.
Again, I thought that was stupid though. Why wouldn't he be training?
Long time since he used the
I
spear.
would like you to explain why he wouldn't be training.
So we have a good reason to give Kratos a very limited moveset and a
Oh god.
complex skill tree. Novelty factor check. Well tied in with a narrative check.
Well, why does it have to be a novelty?
Committing to being a proper sequel. Check. And now
What? Ragnarok was a proper sequel. What do you mean by that? Explain. This has 100,000 views.
now what I'm about to tell you is amazingly epic. Players would have loved it, guaranteed. I talked to all of them. Kratos holds on to the spear, closes his eyes, and remembers his young, former self training with a spear for the first time. So you, the player, get to play a young Kratos in Greece for the spear combat tutorial before his red tattoo to remember.
Okay. We don't need that, though. I guess.
Remember his brother before ashes turned his
Yeah, I guess that could be done well, but I don't know.
body white. I think I would have conned it. I know I would. You can make that so epic. Make Kratos remember his moves. Bro, I
mean,
get goosebumps just thinking about it. Just one weapon for now, just like the first game, but a new one, a fresh one. It's a new game. It'll feel more like one. And get this, the spear will not be upgraded by finding random items and giving it to Brock and Sindri. We've done this in the first game, but
they don't upgrade it to. Okay, I gotta go, but I'll be back tomorrow. Like and subscribe to me and to Ranton.